Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In our last video, we have learned about comparative adjectives, right? And today we are going to learn about superlative adjectives. So what are superlative adjectives? They are slightly different than the comparatives because they are comparing more than two things and they express the highest quality of all the things. They are used to refer to one of the thing which is superior than all of the others. So in comparative, we usually compare two things. When we are comparing more than two things, then we use superlative adjectives. So we can use superlative when we are talking about three or more things. The formation is quite similar to comparatives. We add est to the end of the syllable adjectives and the most to adjectives that are longer, we also add the. You remember in comparative we use more for the longer adjectives, but here we are using most with the most sometimes. Okay, so let's see some examples. She had the biggest slice of pizza. Paris is the most beautiful city in the world. So biggest, we are adding est to big, and here for beautiful, it's a big adjective, so we are using most beautiful. Got it? And let's see the formation of superlatives. There are few other rules in order to note about superlatives. If the adjectives ends with e, okay, for example, late, just add st, don't add again est. And if the adjective ends in a consonant or a vowel, then we need to double the last consonant. For example, big. It ends with a consonant, right? G. So we are doubling it, making it as biggest. And if the adjective ends in Y, replace it with I. Say, for example, silly. So we are saying it as silly with I-E-S-T, silliest. And if the adjective has two syllables, you can choose between est and most. Say, for example, quiet. So it has two syllables, right? Quiet. Quietest, or you can choose most quiet. Both are correct. And simple, simplest or most simple. Easy, right? And when we are talking about superlatives, there are irregular superlatives too. Similarly to comparatives. Okay, so when we are talking about good, it means the best in superlative form. Bad, the worst. Far, the farthest or the furthest. We had the best dinner the other night. So we are telling the best. She is the worst driver, the worst. We always live the farthest away. So let's see more examples. She is the best person I have ever known. We waited in the longest line just to buy a donut. So the longest. I made the most beautiful bouquet of flowers. So here, the most. That is the fluffiest dog I have ever seen. The fluffiest. So here, fluffy, when it comes to fluffy, it ends with F-L-U-F-F-Y. And so we are just removing the Y to I with EST. Ireland is the greenest country you can ever imagine. Greenest. Today has been the hottest day we have experienced so far. So when it comes to superlative adjectives, I feel this is quite easy. You can also do it in a very fast way. So making comparisons with superlatives. When we are using superlatives, we are often comparing everything we have experienced so far. So everything we have seen or everything we have done or everything that you have experienced. So in that cases, we use expressions like ever. And when it is about an experience, we would generally use the present perfect tense. If you are comparing something to itself at a different point of time, often we do that, like, we don't include the. You got it? So if you're telling it's hottest here in May, or May is the hottest month of the whole year. Okay, so we can either say this way, it's hottest here in May. So we don't say it's the hottest, it's hottest here in May. Here we are not include the. May is the hottest month of the whole year. So when you are pointing to the whole year, and if you are pointing out May is the hottest, then you are using the hottest. I heard the worst headache of my life last night. So here the worst. She has the most beautiful eyes I have ever seen. Most beautiful. Now it's time for us to practice. So you can pause the video, try to read the question by yourself, take your pen and paper. You can write it because I always suggest you to write the sentences, read it and understand. Take your time and then find out the answer. So here your job is to make these sentences into superlatives with the adjectives provided in the brackets. Are you ready? Let's get started. I think that's the dash bowl we have. In the bracket, they have given the adjective as big. She is the dash runner in our school. Fast. It's the best if you drink the coffee when it's hot. In the bracket, it's given as good. She is the dash person I know. Stylish. That is one of the dash paintings in the world. Famous. My wife always makes the dash dinners. Delicious. Simple, right? Let's check your answers in the next slide. So, how did you do it? I think that's the biggest bowl we have. So, big becomes biggest. She is the fastest runner in our school. So, the fast becomes fastest. It's best if you drink the coffee when it's hot. Remember the irregular superlative, so good became best. She is the most stylish person I know. So the most stylish. That is one of the most famous paintings in the world. Famous, most famous because it's a longer adjective. My wife always make the most delicious dinner. Here, the most delicious. Easy, right? Now let's review it. Remember, comparative adjectives are used to compare two things with each other. So we add er to the end or more if the adjective is two syllables or more. And superlative adjectives compare more than two things. We use est at the end of the adjective or the most in front of the adjective if it is like a two syllable or more. And remember the spelling rule also. If it ends with y, we will replace it with I and est. And doubling the consonant also if it ends with a vowel or a consonant. Okay. So when we are making comparisons, we can do so with different things. Example, I'm taller than you are. We can also compare the state of something at different times. I feel better than I did last night. And you should also remember about irregular comparatives and irregular superlatives. And that's all for today's video. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more English tips. See you in the next video. Bye bye.